David, sacrifice is to get anything of value. You have to sacrifice.
I know that, Dad, but I think if we continue down this road, it's going to be too detrimental for the kids. It's just too hard.
Do you know that the harder thing to do and the right thing to do are usually the same thing? Nothing that has meaning is easy. Easy doesn't enter into grown-up life.
Some of you need to give up your cell phone because the time you spend on your cell phone could be used for your success. The time you could be using to be successful, you're using it on the cell. And the cell phone is not bringing you nothing but a bill. And somebody has told you you couldn't live without it. I'm talking about going deep now, giving up stuff. Watch what it says. To be able at any moment to sacrifice what we are for what we could be. I don't do well in math. You're right. You ain't never studied. I'm not good in writing because you have never written before. But I dare you to fail in writing for a whole year to see if you can get to the end. I dare you to fail. I dare you to take that same class over and over again. I dare you to stop dropping classes like you soft. Always want to give up. I'm dropping. Why are you dropping? I'm so grateful that the slaves didn't drop and quit. Say, I'm just going to stop. I'm a slave. I'm just going to be a slave. I'm going to quit. Listen to me. The slaves said, we will live because one day we will become.
It's something that I'm known by. It's on our tapes called Choosing Your Future. And it says simply this, that if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, for all that your dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it. And if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish or gulf, sickness or pain or body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim, you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it.
You like, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer. You studying, I got to focus. Your mom going to be hurt. Your family going to think you better than everybody else. Your people going to challenge you, like, where are you? Like, you too good for us. But I'm trying to tell you, number 3, you got to make a sacrifice. If you're going to get to the next level, you're going to have to give up something, right? You're going to have to give up something. And I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. When I say give up, when I talk about sacrifice, I'm saying give up your current blessings. Like, this going to be hard. Give up the current blessings. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? I had to make a sacrifice. And so what I mean by sacrifice, again, is giving up that which is in your hand. Giving that thing up that's like right in your hand. That the thing that you could see, that you could touch, that you could taste, like the thing that you're holding on to, risking everything I have now for what could be. Are you hearing me?
So you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your lower self to your higher self in order for you to proceed in a healthy manner, to be resilient, but also for you to participate in the covenant that would make for a united society. You have to, and there's no difference between that and maturation, because a lot of what maturation is to give up the attractions of the immediate present in the service of something broader and higher. And that would be you in the broader sense and what's in your best interest, but also the community simultaneously. Those are the same thing. So at the center of the community, you have the sacrifice, the voluntary sacrifice of self. That's the center. Around that, you have the church, you have the altar, then you have the church, then you have the town, and around the town you have the state, and then you have the nation. And that's all resting on this spirit of voluntary self-sacrifice, right? And that's the foundation stone of the community. Jung knew that.
You have to go in the trenches, bro. It's ugly. And if you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to sacrifice maybe your current life or sacrifice going out with friends or chasing girls, then that's the price you are paying, right? So no, in the beginning it didn't really work out. It's instant pleasures. People like junkies on their phone, on TikTok, like consuming,
Scrolling,
ordering food.
yeah.
Oh, 10 minutes here, People want everything now, bro. People want everything now. But what makes me different, I'm willing to sacrifice right now for who I want to be in the future. I'm willing to sacrifice my current reality for the lifestyle I want to live forever, right? And if you can create that for yourself, then you'll be dangerous. Then you'll be a dangerous man, and there's no competition, because that's funny to me.
That's tough. And for an entire year, I wasn't answering the phone like that, y'all. I wasn't doing the entertainment thing. I wasn't going out like that on the weekends with my girl like that. I wasn't spending as much time as I would like to with my family and with my children. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? Number 3 is going to be the most important one. Yep, write it down, shut it down. Yep, but that might last for about 2 weeks before it start getting to you. Like, it might last a month, 30 days before it start getting to you, when people start walking out your life and people start calling you out, right? And you start losing stuff to gain stuff. Listen to me. I'm talking to somebody. You ready to give up. You ready to give up on great because good is telling you bye. And I'm telling you to look good in the face.
All about sacrifice. All about. People talk about discipline, but sometimes discipline is not enough. You know, all about sacrifice. Like a couple days ago, it was I think maybe 1 week ago. One guy, he's from Mexico, he trained with us. We allowed him come. We don't allow anybody come to in our team because we have enough sparring partners. You can look anybody, champion, you know. We don't need nobody. We have 30, like almost 30 killers inside one gym. Why we have to invite some people? And he come to me, he's like, oh, in holidays, I wanna go to Mexico. And I told him, brother, you're Mexico, your family, everybody have to wait. If you wanna become best in the world, you have to be inside the room.
You must be committed to your dream. Oh, hallelujah. I'm scared to talk about it because I believe it so bad, you ought to see my toes are dancing in my shoes. Glory to God. I don't have no hair on my head, but my hair on my chin is jerking over this right now. I have never met anybody who became incredibly successful in any area of their life until they had suffered and sweated and sacrificed and kept their focus and fought through tears and trials and tests. And if you have a dream and you commit to it, it will come to pass. Though the vision tarry, wait for it. He's not just the beginning, he's also the end. If God started it, he will finish it. Shout yes!
Look at the opportunities you have now and say bye-bye to those so you can get greater opportunities. Are you hearing me? It's going to take a sacrifice. And everybody talk that talk. Everybody talk about going to the next level. Everybody talk about next level living. Everybody wearing a t-shirt. Everybody's talking it until it's time to pay up. And when it's time to pay, there are people who not willing to pay. You're going to have to sacrifice some sleep to get this one. Yup, you can't get up at the same time. You're going to have to sacrifice some friendship to get to this one. You're going to have to sacrifice some entertainment to get to this one. And the only way you prove to yourself that you really want it.
When you're 25, you can be an idiot. It's no problem. Even when you're out in a job search, it's like, well, you don't have any experience and you're kind of clueless. It's, yeah, you're young. You know, it's no problem. That's what young people are like, but they're full of potential. Okay, well, now you're the same person at 30. It's like people aren't so thrilled about you at that point. It's like, what the hell have you been doing for the last 10 years? Well, I'm just as clueless as I was when I was 22. It's, yeah, but you're not 22. You're an old infant, right? And that's an ugly thing, an old infant. So, part of the reason you choose your damn sacrifice, because the sacrifice is inevitable.
If you want to become the best, there is no family. If you want to spend time with your family, kids, okay, be with them. You're gonna become best family man. I am not against family people. I just say, if you want to become best in this business, you have to sacrifice. Sacrifice your time, sacrifice your health, sacrifice everything what you have. Other way, I don't know. I was in this game, not only like coach, like fighter too. And when people try to talk with me, give me like some excuse what they have to do, I'm like, I just see this guy, he can be just regular fighter, like thousands and thousands other people. Just regular fighter. He's gonna make money, he's gonna be good, but he's never gonna be champion.
You are willing to do whatever it takes, whatever it takes. I'll do whatever it takes to get to that milestone. And if you don't have that in you this year, baby, I'm telling you, you're going to be stuck on average. You're going to be stuck on good. You will not get your great without making a great sacrifice. It's your boy E.T. saying, if it was easy to do, if it was easy to hit milestones, everybody would be hitting them every single day. It ain't easy, but it's doable. But only to those who are willing to give up, to go up. And you got to ask yourself this question. Are you really, 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 really ready to make the sacrifices necessary to get to the next level? And if that answer is yes, then I guarantee you it's only a matter of time before that dream is no longer a dream, but you are living in that reality. So do me a favor, make the sacrifice.
I pick up the phone at 6 o'clock. He goes, "Oh, gotcha. I fucking got you, ain't I?" I said, "Charlie." He goes, "Hello, mate. How you doing?" I go, "I'm good." He goes, "What's going on?" And I thought, and I'd just split up with my girlfriend at the time. And I thought, oh, well, do you know what? I'm going to beat around the bush. I'm just going to fucking tell him straight because, you know, break the ice. And he goes, right. He goes, "Tom." But yeah. He goes, do you remember the floods? When Oxford. He goes, "Yeah, the floods. Do you remember the floods?" So, yeah. He goes, "Do you remember that boy who got his foot stuck in a grate and the river kept rising? And he kept rising. And he kept rising, and eventually they tried to get him out, but he drowned." Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, you've got to cut a little piece of yourself off, yeah, no matter how much it hurts, in order to grow, yeah, in order to move on.
You need to eat good, you need to take care of yourself, and you need to stay out of no free time. Because free time is where drug dealers live. Free time is where depression and the devil live, okay? Like, I don't have free time. If this place was burning down right now, you ain't gonna be thinking, "Oh, I'm depressed, I can't leave." If this room gets hot enough, you will fucking roll your ass out of here as fast as you can. So urgency, man, you wanna have urgency in your schedule. The only time I've ever gotten in trouble in my life, right before I got in trouble, I was bored. Every fucking single time I got in trouble in my life, every time. I got bored, and then I compromised the people I was around. When you're bored, you compromise. You say, why? Because you got bored? Okay, you should have been home, dude. You should have been sleeping, preparing for the next morning, getting up early, go get your workout in, get your hustle on, go to breakfast with somebody, get in a group, a mastermind with some people that won't put up with that bullshit. Because people that are playing on all the cylinders, like they're running and gunning, they don't have time for bullshit. They don't want the trouble, and they're not bored.
You can either A, right, sacrifice temporary fun for permanent dreams, or sacrifice your permanent dreams for temporary fun. And the reality is a lot of you guys are willing to sacrifice your permanent dreams for some temporary fun. Yeah. And that temporary fun is never going to get you fucking anywhere. Because I'll tell you this, going to the club, partying, drinking, popping bottles, are those people going to be there 10 years from now when you're fucking brokey wondering what the fuck you did in the years that you were supposed to be productive? Let me tell you something, they won't fucking be there.
On your journey to self-mastery, you will lose 99% of your friends. Now, I know that sucks, especially if you're young. You think like, man, in high school we were tight. Now in college we're tight and we're hanging out. We're the boys. We're always doing the thing. But I'm telling you, the moment you truly decide to commit to self-mastery, to becoming your 2.0 self, to really elevating to the highest version of yourself, you will lose 99% of your friends. And the reason for that is you will scare them. They will not understand why you're so committed to self-development, self-actualization, making more money, becoming a better human, stopping the alcohol. You won't have things in common anymore, right? Because if you are trying to transcend to self-mastery.
I tell kids all the time, and mind you, we got 10 schools now, 10,000 kids with Slam, and I tell them, hey, forget about followers and likes. Always think about and keep yourself around people that are leaders and unique, like you were saying earlier. So with that said is, on the execution part, what allowed us to do it, why? Because while everybody's over here being cool, and I tell people this all the time, there's no future in cool. That's a trend, that's a fad. It comes and it goes, just like dope money. Dope money comes quick and leaves quicker, okay? We're here for a slow, but a for show. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Paso corto, vista larga, which is short steps, long vision.
Personal sacrifice is huge. There is no soccer game on Saturday. There's no Sunday dinner with the family. You're working because some guy in China or in India or some woman out there is kicking your ass, because we're in a global competition now. And so I don't care what your business is, men, women, you have to understand that you're going into a huge lifestyle change. And I tell people it's not for everybody.
Everything you want in life, you can have. You can have all your wants in life. But not 1 second before you stop making excuses for not having what you want. And you get rid of those excuses of life. Get rid of the voices of what everyone else says. Because there's two people inside of you, right? There's a person that everyone else sees on the outside looking in. And then there's the other person. The person you believe your potential can be. What you can see is what you see that you can be. And dying will the individual to come out. That guy's scary. Too fast is scary. One, it takes hard work. You have to feel like this to give birth to him. You know, it's just, scary for a lot of people. They have to go through, they have to endure that sweat equity of life, dedication and sacrifice, due diligence to see it through. The unknowns of life.
So if you want to be great at something, it's a choice that you have to make. We all can be masters at our craft, but you have to make a choice. What I mean by that is the inherent sacrifices that come along with that. Family time, hanging out with your friends, being a great friend, right? Being a great son, nephew, whatever the case may be. There's sacrifices that come along with making that decision. I knew that I was not going to be stopped. So at the age of 18, this was my life, right? So you can't possibly become better than me because you're not spending the time on it that I do. Even if you want to spend the time on it, you can't, because you have other things. You have other responsibilities that are taking you away from it. So I already won.
And I know the sacrifices that went along with standing here today. And we're not on this stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger. We were never satisfied, never finished, will never be retired.
2017, I sacrificed everything, and the same thing in 2018. There was so much sacrifice. I really didn't have a social life in 2018. And it got to a point I remember back beginning of 2019, I was in Bali and one of my best friends was visiting me. My mom was visiting me, and I was there with my ex-girlfriend as well as my old personal trainer. And the four of them almost sat me down and had an ultimatum. They're like, you're not there. Like you're not here with us. And the biggest thing was sacrifice. Like sacrifice to the point where business was all I thought about 24/7. And, I've since then in 2020 and 2021 and, also the second half of 2019, if you sacrifice up until you're 27, you still have many, many good years to go out there, have a good dating life, meet a bunch of very interesting people. And, if you can sacrifice those early 20s, it really does set you up for the rest of your life.
It's the path less taken. That's scary. But also, once you get through it, it gets really scary. Because everyone looking at you, who saw that other person, not the person you saw, but the other person, is now freaked the fuck out. Because who the fuck you are now stands there in that dominating force who took the advantage of the time they had and now is reaping the reward of the seeds they planted today and yesterday and the days before, bearing the fruit of their potential, what they can be. No regrets, no wonders of what if. Just damn sure proud and excited of what's gonna come, what's gonna be. That's a good fucking day, man. Don't also think all these critics that talk shit to you, call you names and everything else. Don't think that disrespect isn't just a few degrees separation of true love they really feel for you.
You'll be a lot happier if you stop blaming your parents for all your problems. Like, there's no other way to say that. Your parents weren't perfect. They did the best they could. Maybe they divorced. Maybe they're crazy. Maybe one's crazy and one's not. Who knows? They did the best they could with what they had. Now that you're an adult, it's on you. If you're repeating the crazy patterns, then you are equally as nuts. You gotta stop blaming the parents for the problems that you have and start taking personal responsibility.
Must be better for you.
A friend of mine actually said to me on a trip recently, she said, in successful spaces, oftentimes people will use the word sacrifice. You know, we heard many people, we heard Martin, we had so many people up on the stage saying sacrifice, 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 sacrifice. And she said one of the most powerful things ever to me. She said, when we say we've sacrificed something for our career, we shouldn't be afraid to put a name to who that sacrifice was, because oftentimes it was the people in our lives that we call friends.
Yeah. All of that's in your control, you know what I mean? And I feel like the people that have done that, no matter how long they did it, or, you know what I mean, they found some type of success from it. You couldn't have had this if you didn't focus up, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be doing interviews. You had to focus up. So it's the same with any craft. I feel like if you put that time to it, or you dedicate, you sacrifice that little, you know what I mean, all them distractions, you'll see some type of success. And people don't understand that. They rather see you get successful and then be mad at it, or be wondering, well, why that's him and not me? You ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing to become successful, you know what I mean? So
I made the biggest sacrifice. It was the only sacrifice I could make. Yeah, my dad, I've had a luxurious life, a blessed life. I don't know hardship. The only sacrifice I could make was my family. And it's the sacrifice I chose to make, but it don't make it any easier. It don't make it any easier. Not half the fighters here would do what I do. And if they had what I had, they wouldn't graft as hard as I do. Tony can vouch for me. I'm the first to get there and the last to leave. I'm crushing numbers in the sprints. I'm crushing numbers in sparring. I won't be doing that if I wasn't hungry. They say that it's hard to get out of bed in silk pajamas. I get out of bed in silk pajamas in my heated Range Rover seats with a nice massage on the back, heated steering. I still train harder than all these fools.
But it's funny when you're coming here and you're closing the gym up, and there's no one in the parking lot except for my car. And everyone else probably getting home from some party right now, because bars are closed right now too. You know, they're probably going to sleep, and they're probably going to have to wake up and apologize to somebody for however way they acted, because that's not who they really are. They're chemically induced to be a certain way, to have the social lubricants, or be able to talk, to be liked, and so they take something in order to be that guy. Just like people that do steroids, whatever else. I have to take this to be all that, you know, but who I am as an individual isn't quite good enough. That's why I need to take something and become somebody else. You know, it's a sad reality. Coming here at night and, you know, I don't know what it is about it, man, but like, man, it's just the air smells a little bit better right now.
That's what I'm sacrificing. And I think a lot of people create these to-do lists when, in my experience, it's been so much more useful to write down all the things that I'm willing to sacrifice. Because if you sacrifice everything, there's nothing left than to do the one thing that matters. And I think Jerry Seinfeld talks about this from a writing perspective. He says that every day, no matter what, he sits down and he writes for 2 hours. There are more people that I have met in my life who are dissatisfied by their live it up 20s than dissatisfied by their work it up 20s. Because most of the time in your 20s, you have no idea what you want. But knowing what you need to do to work and move ahead is fairly straightforward. And so you can take the known and make progress on the one that you have high confidence that you can make progress on. And then along the way, gain perspective on what are the things that are actually important to you in your life. And you may find out often that there are far fewer of those things than you really originally thought, because what you thought live them up in your 20s was actually your mom and your two homies who are both mediocre, and you don't care about their opinion now when you're 30 anyways. But what a waste of a life it would have been to, quote, live up your mom's dream or your friend's dreams, to then only get to your 30s and realize you didn't live it up and you also didn't work it up, and now you have neither.
Nowadays, everybody's messed up here. Because they choose the machines before the free bar squat, okay? So they have no flexibility here, and as a result, they have to squat sideways, they have to use their butt and their lower back. The secret or the mentality should be, forget the machines when you first start, do the squat. It's the hardest thing in the world to do the squat. This is balance and control and it's scary, but that's why it's so effective, okay? The hardest things are usually the best. If it's easy, leave it to somebody else, okay? If there's a risk involved in an exercise, and there is, you're out here in the open wind and you could fall. If there's a risk associated with a movement, it's a good exercise. If there's minimal risk, why do it? It's probably a bullshit exercise, okay?
Because if you want to become a millionaire, if you want to become a person that's successful, if you want to develop a better physique, it will require sacrifice. And if you want to get to the next level, it'll cost you. There is a price to success. It hurts. Like, you've had to neglect friends.
Yeah.
You've had to neglect certain comments from family members.
Yeah.
You've had to work overnight for years and years, and nobody's gonna see that.
Yeah.
Nobody, but that's the price. And you will either live the price with two aspects, because you're gonna pay the price regardless of life. You will pay the price of discipline and hard work, or you will pay the price of regret. And the last thing I want to live is a life of regret. When I'm sitting on my deathbed by myself, my girl won't be there, you won't be there, it'll just be me, myself, and I will have to live and deal with the consequences and the pain of, did I pursue my fullest potential, or did I settle for average and mediocre because I wasn't able to sacrifice the current version of myself for who I was able to become?
I talked to a group of lawyers this week. When I got done, one guy came over to me frustrated. He goes, man, I keep on failing. Took me 4 times to pass the bar. I'm trying to start my business. I keep on failing at that. The whole time he was talking to me, I started smiling. He goes, why are you smiling? I said, because you missed it. I don't see failure. I see grit, determination, drive, sacrifice. Failure means you're trying. Whole bunch of people out here never fail because they never try. He said, how do you handle failure, Goggins? I said, I don't look at it as failure. I look at it as my first, second, third attempt. One thing in life that's for sure, the valiant motherfucker always wins. Stay hard.
Congratulations. You achieved failure. Failure has been achieved, thank God. Now, the only place to go from failure is to win. You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. But you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It always has been. Nothing's changed since the 70s. Nothing. Except people train not as hard.
Everybody can live their own life. At the end of the day, the more people that you share a bed with, you give them a piece of your soul, whether you like to or not. You give them a piece of your memories, you give them a piece of yourself. So you just have to be very careful who you decide to spend your time with. And at the end of the day, you know, I just, like I said, I reward and I enjoy being with people, and hopefully they do too, where loyalty and longevity are pillars of a relationship. So my girl used to drive me to work. I used to toss wings and work in the kitchen. She would drive me to work when I didn't have a car. So hopefully now we're able to build something together that's a dope life. And it would make no sense whatsoever, and it wouldn't be very good of me to neglect all of that sacrifice that's been done.
People sacrifice the thing that they want for the thing which is supposed to get it. So a lot of the time we will sacrifice happiness in order to be able to achieve success, so that when we finally have enough success, we can allow ourselves to be happy. So you sacrifice the thing that you want, which is happiness,
right,
for the thing which is supposed to get it, which is success.
Yeah.
And it's a super common pattern amongst high performers. And growing up, this person internalizes the lesson. It is very important for me to overperform, and they're driven by this desire to do more and to prove people wrong, and a chip on their shoulder and all of this. You've already achieved goals you said would make you happy. You've already achieved goals you said would make you happy. How can you presume that your happiness sits on the next side of the next set of goals, given that right now you are on the other side of your last set of goals?
Yeah, well, I was believing myself and believing what I do, and my coach, and he said to me from day one, you just do what I say to you. If you do that, you're gonna become a better than everyone. And we did that. We do it still and do it. They just coaches take me out from the session. You can't do so much training and you're gonna get injured and stuff. But what I can do more, this is my work. That's why I train hard, 3 sessions every day. Yeah, I was believing that's gonna happen. That's why I was telling he stay here 3 years. Yeah.
Just different things. We did stuff for his eyes. We created all kinds of distractions, just stuff that I knew that would work, that would just work. And he was open to it. He was like open because he was just like, man, I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. If I do what everybody else is doing, I'm gonna be like everybody else. His obsession with winning. Yeah, he knew there was a price that needed to pay for winning, and everybody knows you got to pay a price for winning, but most people aren't willing to pay it. They may pay it once, but literally you got to pay it every single day. And the crazy part about that is the price changes daily. Just like the stock market goes up and down, the price of winning changes on a daily basis. And you got to be willing to pay that price, whatever it is on that day.
You know, this generation, for kids, you know what I'm talking about. They have everything easy. They have computers, they have good food on the table. They not sacrifice a lot to get what they want. I want to give the best. I want him to suffer a little bit to reach what he wants to be. He didn't believe because what he see now, he don't imagine what we sacrifice, the hardest time that we had. He don't believe. So it's hard, but I think I'm gonna be. I know how to do it, to motivate him, to push him, but we'll be here.
They see I don't party, bro, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and they see that and they're like, bro, why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go have fun. You are. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm having fun, and I try to tell them, like, don't let me affect what you do,
I'm gonna be good regardless.
I'm gonna be good regardless, but I'm comfortable who I am. I have fun sitting at home watching 6 games at a time with my daughter, my family, my girl, or on FaceTime with my family. You know what I mean? Like, I have fun doing that. Answering prison calls over and over, chopping it up with them. That's my life right now. When I'm done, like, I'll probably start doing more. But right now, I just know, I feel like it's messed up that it's this way, that I gotta think like this. But it's like, I feel like I go to the club or something, you're not about to play with me.
Life is a box of surprises, and it's hard, you know. It's not easy, you know, to be in this level and still push and still motivate to carry on, you know, to score goals, to be in a good shape, to compete with the young lions. They coming, and when they play against me, they want to show me that they are stronger than me and faster than me. You have to prepare very well, not in terms of physically, but mentally too. I think it's very hard, but in the same way, it's a challenge, you know, because as you can see, if you treat good your body, you can maintain so many years, and this is the big challenge for me, and it's great.
People are gonna think that I am maybe lying or maybe fibbing or exaggerating. No, I was the lowest form on earth, no talent, no ability to learn, and I literally know what it is to be rock bottom and to build that up. So that question about learning, it's a pain in my ass, and I don't have to do it. So think about it, I'm 49 years old and I'm a multi-millionaire. I don't have to do anything. So all I thought about when I was growing up is, man, I can't wait till one day it gets to the point where I no longer have to do this stuff. But what happens, as I got older, it became a way of living. So how I do every day is how I do every day. It's a discipline, it's a regimen, it was a choice I made. And the choice I made was, what are you willing to sacrifice and what are you willing to give up to find every bit of who you are as a human being? And I was willing to give up everything to do that. So studying is no joke.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood, you know? And, you know, the whole week I was thinking, I want to finish this fight. I'm going to finish this fight before the championship rounds. And this is, you know, I should be able to smash this guy. You know, Goggins' message, it was for a reason, you know, his reason, and Greg Jackson's been saying it for years, be comfortable being uncomfortable. But Goggins gave me a really good reminder, just, John, you should want this fight to be miserable. You should want this to hurt.
I'm always say it was the toughest time in my life. It was when I left my family with 11 years old to live in a different world, which is Lisbon, in the same country, but it looked like it's a different part of the world. I was cry almost every day to miss my family, but I'm not regret because it was probably the more intense moments in my life that I lived through. So without sacrifice, we cannot win nothing. So I did an unbelievable sacrifice, my family too, and I think it was. I think I did a good option.
I had to be selfish during that time, and the only reason I had to be selfish during that time is because I had a path and a goal that I wanted her to be able to achieve and her to be able to see. And knowing that I had to make this sacrifice now for the benefit of what was going to deliver down the line. And if I couldn't deliver what I wanted to deliver down the line, it would actually be more detrimental to myself and to the family and to my growth and to her growth if I didn't complete what I was set out to complete.
But I would propose that self-love you would ultimately be happier, because in some Taoist roundabout way, the reason we want validation from others is to give us a good enough reason to validate ourselves. And if you compromise yourself in order to gain favor with other people, you'll know. Even if you think you're not keeping score, your subconscious is. And this sacrifice of the thing that we want for the thing which is supposed to get it, sacrifice the thing we want, self-worth, for the thing which is supposed to get it, validation, means that we need to prioritize ourselves. And Mark's contention in Models, basically the entirety of Models as a piece of advice for male dating, is neediness is the attraction killer. Therefore, you cannot prioritize other people's opinions of yourself ahead of your own.
For the people getting started, one is find a mentor, somebody who's gone the path that you want to go and follow them. Two is do not compare yourself to other people that are farther along the journey and assume that you're going to get there overnight. Once again, the killer of joy is comparison. You need to run away from that. And finally, you need to understand that you must be willing to sacrifice who you are today for who you want to become tomorrow. You have to sacrifice who you are today for who you want to become tomorrow. The Bible, there's a verse in the Bible that says, when I became a man, I put away childish things. You can't become the best version of yourself unless you're willing to neglect who you are today.
We almost don't lose, and I talk about 25 fighters, 25 professional fighters. We fight, we almost don't lose. Everybody we fight around the world, everywhere. Japan, Middle East, Europe, US, South America. We're fighting in everywhere in this world, and we almost don't lose. Like, we have so many belts, we have so many champions, and all about because of sacrifice. And all these guys, they was with me, they was with my father when I beginning. When they finish, couple guys with me already finished. There is like how many, like 6, 7, 8 on very high level. They still there. When they finish, I'm gonna finish too.